G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today is something a little bit different for me, a mobility scooter controller. So this may be something that lots and lots of you could be interested in. It's unbranded. The guy that owns it has actually taken the back off, so I'm not real sure of branding. Hang on. It's a Dynamic. It's made in New Zealand, and there's the information on it. If I can get that on the camera. Okay. So, bit hard from where I am at the moment, but yeah, there's the info. Now I'll bring us in closer on the bench and show you why this is in here. It should be a fairly straightforward repair. So anyway, we'll have a look at this, but I really thought that you guys may be interested in this. This could be a common problem with these. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, now how he's brought it in is there's one screw left. These are hex screws, I think. No, they're actually Phillips, but I think they were hex on the rest, or tamper-proof or something, and he's actually cut them to get into it to try and fix it himself. So what we've got here, this is one of the screws out of it, and the guy that dropped it in for me, for another guy, has asked can I replace the other three of those. Okay, here we go. It's a terminal, and it's been pulled out of the board. Now, there's the go. As you can see, been ripped out, and probably I don't know, the rest of them seem okay, but it may have well, I don't think it's jammed or corroded or anything, although I don't know. This could have been hot by the look of this. Yeah, it may have been hot and actually could have jammed and pulled this out. But anyway, looking at the other side, okay, we can see what's happened here, can't we? All us techs know that that is water, a water sign. Now, where the one has pulled out is just there, and you can see a whole heap of dry joints on the one next door to him. Okay, so yeah, we're going to do something with that. The water damage, well, there doesn't look to be a hell of a lot there, but we've got to clean all this up. And first of all, I think remove the screws out of this and try and get this board out. Hopefully it's not sealed in epoxy or something like this. Just not real sure. There's a couple of numbers on here that that may mean something to you guys that actually deal with these, but to me that means nothing. Okay, there's my phone call. I will come back and we'll get the screws out. Okay, these screws are T10, they're Torx screws. So let's see what we can find here. I sort of don't recommend cutting the screws out of it to get into it, but this is what this chap did. So don't know why water would have got in here. There should be a seal around the back of this, and there is no way water should have got in there. But I'm I'm not certain what the gopher is, what model or anything. I don't know anything about it. I was just given this piece of gear. Now, seems to be a heat sink here. As I said, I haven't ever seen this model. It does have a number on it up here, so GPC 51101G by the look of it, which probably means nothing really to me. Okay, we've got a little, just a little plate there, insulating washer, and let's see, does it come out? Does it come out? It does. Doesn't want to move. Ah, yes, here we go. Now we do have a plug here. Ah, okay. There's a probably a programming port there, and we'll push this fella out. Right, here we go. This will be pretty easy to work on. Right, nothing else in there except a very clean box, except for where the water has been. And obviously the water has been down the bottom of this. And I'd say we've got probably 4 power MOSFETs there. There's no need to take that off. But this fella has to come off. Okay. We'll get him off eventually. So we've got to clean this fella up. Not much water ingress, but we can see that that's been hot. Now, probably hot because of the loose connections that are down on the board here. Now, as you can see, been pretty warm, and so is this fella. But this fella is also loose. There's my phone. I'll have to take my phone out of the workshop because it never stops beeping and ringing, and yeah, sorry guys, it throws you off your video when you've got it in here. I keep it in here for my work, but yeah, have to do something else with it. So all these, been pretty warm in this area. I'm going to take them all out, going to clean up this board totally, clean up the whole lot of these, and certainly put some more solder around the bottom of them. This one here seems not too bad. All the terminals are okay there. Yeah, but yeah, that, I don't know whether this has been soldered before. I don't think so. Anyway, let's heat the soldering iron up and get these out of here and start the cleaning process. Can't see any other problems with water damage. We'll clean all this up, but thankfully it hasn't gone to this side of the board. There's a track that's been affected there, but like the track looks okay. there's no problem. So very lucky with the water. Sometimes if you get it on this side and it gets in amongst your surface mount rubbish down in here, there's certainly a problem. All right, let's remove these and start the cleaning up process. Now I think to get these out I'll have to add a bit more solder to get the solder flowing a bit, which may take a bit of doing, seeing they've been burnt around, well, this one's burnt around the edges. We'll start at the front. It's easy to grab hold of me. Okay, he's out. This one. He's out. Now, this back one. This board's a bit, the copper tracks are fairly thick on the other side as well with this one, so this is going to take a little bit more getting out than the other ones. We may have to get to him on this side. There we go. Got him out. And boy, he took some getting out there. Okay, first of all I'm going to use my solder sucker on these and see can we get some solder off fairly quick. Start at the back, and if we can't do this, well, we'll use the solder wick. Yeah, that got a bit off. There we go. It just saves a little bit of solder wick doing it this way. Back one, I think we're going to need wick on it. This front one will be okay. Right. Try the back one from this angle. As I said, these are fairly heavy tracks, so it needs a fair bit of heat. That didn't do much. Getting there now. Okay, I think we're going to have to use some solder wick on this fella. I don't have a desoldering station. I used to, and I got out of electronics to at one stage temporarily to go fly aeroplanes, and when I finished up doing that, I come back to electronics, and well, I shouldn't have sold some of my gear. Guys, I'm going to pause the camera while I do this. This is going to take a little while, just dragging it off. You can see there's a fair bit of solder in here that needs to come out. Okay, so I'm just going to keep dragging these out, and especially on that side. Just keep dragging it out until we get it all out. Okay, well, that took a bit of doing, actually. I had to use a fairly heavy soldering iron to remove the solder from these fellas. It's all done now, but gee, that was something else. So if you're doing one, you're going to need a decent soldering iron to get rid of the solder out of the holes, out of the vias on here, and yeah, also just the excess solder around the tab, the bottom of the tabs. Okay, so now it's time to get these fellas, clean all the solder off the end of them so we can fit them in and solder them in. I'll show you the soldering iron I used very shortly. Right guys, well, we've cleaned up the pins and they're ready to go in. Now the two worst pins are these two. Now that's actually clean. It's a bit discoloured because these, especially this one, these have been hot, and that's discoloration, but it is making contact, no worries. Now these two seem to be the main, probably motor control from the top ones here, and they were fairly badly burnt. Now you've got a big area here, which is this one, and a fairly big area here, which is this one. These two are more or less, well, looks like control or feedback or something like that. So I'm going to swap these pins over. I'm going to put the ones that have had a hard time in the front, because they're not carrying near as much current as the ones in the back. Okay, so we'll do that. And I can't see anything else wrong with this board. As you can see, I've cleaned up the rubbish from the water. I've yet to do it in the top here, but that's done. So we'll put these in. I'm sure this will be okay. But the other thing that concerns me is if this has been arcing, like you can see pitting, where it's been arcing. Well, what's the socket like? This is the other thing. So we've got to ask ourselves about, the socket. Is it burnt like this? Is this just from the heat of dry joints here? Or what's the go? But anyway, I don't have the socket here with me to check out. It's obviously on the machine, I would say. So I can't see that at the moment. Okay, I will attempt to reinstall these. And boy, as I said, these took a lot of getting out. And guys, I'm going to have to get another chair, aren't I? This chair's very annoying. This is the soldering iron I was using. Okay, seemed to have enough go in it. So, yes, it's 240 volts and it's 160 watt. So that seems to drag out the solder, no problem at all. But I needed this thing, the little iron, which is right there, just wasn't cutting it. So you can see the difference. All right, let's solder these in. We've got to push him right down home. And he doesn't stick through by much. I'm just going to put a pair of pliers on that and see can we get it a little bit better. Okay, well, here goes. We get one chance at this, and if it doesn't solder properly, we can't get the solder back out of it. It's very difficult because you need lots of heat. Now we'll just gently heat this up. This will have to be soldered both sides. I think this was part of the problem in the first place, where it wasn't soldered both sides. And it let go on one side. And that's fairly good. actually, we could just push him a little bit there. There we go. How's the underneath? Looking pretty good. Okay, next one. Okay. And he looks fine. It looks good. Okay, do the front two, which aren't quite as bad to do, but yeah, not the prettiest of terminals. And I don't have any terminals like this. Okay, a little bit more there. There we go. Hopefully nothing moved. Nope. Okay. Straighten this fella up a little bit. All nice and straight. That's it, guys. Let's put this thing together and give it back to the customer, and hopefully this is fixed up good enough, but I'm a bit suspicious about the socket that plugs onto these. Right, let's clean up this little bit. There we go, guys. Now, all put together. As I said, I can't test this. Now I'm just going to give this a little bit of a brush just to clean off the residue of the flux on there. And there's one of those that's just a little bit more, just a little bit bent. I've just got to get everything, make sure everything's straight when this plug goes back in. Okay. Yeah, that should be good. So, yes, these will work. The socket that clips in, I don't know. Okay, so he also wanted 4 screws about that length. So I'll see what I can do there, and well, that more or less completes this job. How was that put in? Pushes in like so. Okay, there we go, guys. It's a Dynamic. It's a scooter controller. It's a DS112K01. You can all see that. And it's made in New Zealand. Okay, 110 amp. So it'll handle a little bit of power. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. You might get something from this video on what's inside these and how to fix, well, certainly fix the motor. I would say this definitely goes to your motor. How to fix the terminals up and, yeah, go from there. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. It helps the algorithm and the things move around a bit. And if you like it, please subscribe and hit the bell, and it'll notify you when I put my next video up. Okay, until then, guys, it's bye for now.